Meet the most brazen and disrespectful defendants in history. Number 1. Michael McDonald. Let's begin with the notorious incident involving Michael McDonald. A 35-year-old accused of violating parole was released on bond while awaiting trial for charges related to a heated divorce and custody case. His ex-wife had a no-contact order, but McDonald allegedly sent gifts to his children, unaware it violated the order. Despite claims of innocence, Judge Kathy Hardcastle, aware of McDonald's history of violating orders, granted the motion for custody. Number 2. Sidney Newsom. Meet Sidney Newsom facing charges in a Mississippi court. Initially calm, things take a wild turn when the transport officer taps the table. Sidney's family enters and he tries to approach them, but the officer guides him back. After some paperwork, Sidney argues with the judge, leading to his dramatic exit plan, throwing papers and even a telephone. Chaos ensues as Sidney overpowers the officer, but Judge Rise takes charge. Number 3. Keith Ferguson. In 2014, Keith Allen Ferguson, a 40-year-old man, found himself entangled in serious legal troubles after a tragic sequence of events led to the deaths of his wife, Tiffany Ferguson, and father-in-law, James Weber. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the dozen charges slapped on him, ranging from murder to kidnapping. This incident occurred after a heated dispute between Keith and Tiffany over their impending divorce. What started as a contentious argument took a sinister turn, culminating in a heartbreaking shooting witnessed by their 4 children. In a chilling escalation, Keith took the children to Tiffany's parents' house, where he perpetrated another act of violence, taking the life of her father, James. Subsequently, Keith barricaded himself in a nearby residence, taking a 59-year-old woman hostage and subjecting law enforcement to 7 tense hours before ultimately surrendering. Number 4. Jeremy Christian. Jeremy Christian, in a shocking incident aboard a Portland, Oregon train, claimed the lives of Ricky John Best, a retired Army officer, and Talisin Namkai Meche, a young woman, while also stabbing Micah Fletcher, who fortunately survived. The tragic episode began with Jeremy captured on video hurling racist and anti-Muslim insults at 2 black teenagers. Passengers attempted to intervene, standing up for the frightened teenagers. Instead of de-escalating, Jeremy escalated the situation, brandishing a knife and threatening those on board, ultimately resulting in the stabbings. After the harrowing events, Jeremy attempted to flee but was pursued by courageous passengers who alerted the police. Upon his arrest, Jeremy showed no remorse for his actions. Even during the trial, he went so far as to threaten a relative of one of the victims. Number 5. Quahuru Goen. In Bushwick, 38-year-old Quahuru faced murder charges that shook the Brooklyn neighborhood. Living just across the street from the Brazen family, Goen had a peculiar connection with the victim's mother, Desire, owing to their shared neighborhood. On February 14, 2015, the victim Rashawn set out intending to meet his mother for a Valentine's Day lunch. However, this lunch never materialized as Rashawn vanished without a trace. Fragments of Rashawn's body were unearthed in a subway tunnel, and even more disturbingly, a hand and arm were found at a Brooklyn recycling facility. Court documents unfolded a shocking twist. Goen had attended Rashawn's funeral and even signed the guest book. Goen confessed to hating Rashawn because he was gay, labeling him an abomination based on his interpretation of religious teachings. This reportedly was Goen's motive for the heinous murder of the 19-year-old. Now in the Brooklyn Supreme Court, Goen faces trial for his abominable crimes. In a tense courtroom scene, Goen attempts to stand and plead his innocence, asserting his right to do so. However, the court is having none of it. A struggle ensues when Goen refuses to be fingerprinted and argues with the judge. The judge, having reached a limit, orders Goen to be removed, making it clear that compliance is non-negotiable. Goen is compelled to be in court daily until he agrees to be fingerprinted. Despite pleading guilty, Goen is ultimately sentenced to life imprisonment. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching.